welcome back to KenJo Creations. It's Ken here. Well, it's Foreigner Daddy's turn to cook again. So, what am I doing? I'm trying to make something that's a little bit Filipino-like, but it's got a bit of a Western edge to it. I'm gonna make a roast pork tenderloin, and I'm gonna supplement that with a little bit of bitter gourd. Bitter, you may not know, I don't know what I don't think we have any name for that in the United States because we just don't have that. But it's a something that looks like almost a long version of a cucumber, but it's much harder, and it is extremely bitter. But there's a few things you can do to fix it up, to make it less bitter. You can soak it a bit first and then squeeze out all the water. That's one thing I've seen some people, some Filipinos do when they're cooking it. What I'm gonna do is I'm using some of the spices that I use for the pork tenderloin to sort of dress it up, but I'm also cooking it in orange juice, so it's gonna have a bit of a interesting flavor. So I haven't told the family yet what I'm doing. They're gonna see this and think, this is pretty standard stuff, but it has a little bit of a different edge than they're used to. So let's see. Will my Filipino family eat Foreigner Daddy's barbecue? Hopefully this time it'll be much better than last time. Yeah. Okay, I'll show you in a minute. All right. By the way, guys, it is absolutely steaming here. The temperature now, it's 5:30 in the evening, early evening. The temperature is about Fahrenheit 93. I think it's probably 34 degrees. But because of the humidity today is at 60%. So according to the weather, Google Weather and other weather applications, it feels like 110. So it is extremely humid. You know, one of the interesting things, the first time I came here to the Philippines was quite a while back. I was living in Tokyo at the time. Now, Tokyo is a temperate climate, very similar to Washington, D.C. in the U.S., many parts of Europe. It gets cool in the wintertime. Doesn't really snow so much in Tokyo, but it can snow a couple times a year. It does get to freezing. So it's a temperate climate. And temperate climates are a lot drier than, there are some that get humid in the summertime, but the humidity in the tropics here in the Philippines is completely different than that. So if you come from a place like North America, minus say Florida. Florida is subtropical, so it's not as humid, but they're used to a bit of humidity. But I'd say even if you came from Florida in the US and you got off the plane here, it would feel like you're hitting a wall of hot air. It's so heavy that you can feel it as you're breathing. You know, it's now obviously when you're living here you get used to that, so you don't really feel that feeling. But we've been having an El Nino year and higher than normal temperatures, and on top of that less rains than usual. So it is extremely hot, crazy hot. But don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I love the heat much more than I love freezing. Yeah, that's for another video, but I've been in some very freezing places, including the North Pole, back in 30 years ago. But yeah, so I definitely prefer it here, even when it's this hot. But my gosh, it just makes you want to sit down and do nothing but drink a cold beer. Okay, just wanted to mention that because we're all kind of sitting around today. The kids are a little bit cranky, and it's because of the heat. I think you could hear our 1.5-year-old Kenneth in the background making noise right now. He's, but I think that's because he's a bit, not feeling so great because this heat is killer. Oh, there you go. It's a little bit clearer now. This is it so far. It's a pork tenderloin. It's cooking in got a bunch of spices rubbed into it and marinated in orange juice. But then I put a bit of water with lemon water and orange juice, and I'm just letting it slow cook till it gets soft. So got a while to go. Hopefully they're gonna like it. Let's find out. I'll show you. These are the bitter gourds I was talking about. It's been cut up already into thin slices. Very bitter, but I'm gonna mix that a little bit later in here with the orange sauce and let it get soft, and it should be an interesting flavor, I hope. We'll see. Okay guys, it's almost done. I think this bitter gourd needs to be a little bit longer, so I'm going to let it go for about 5 minutes longer. But you can see the pork tenderloin is actually quite browned on the outside. Yeah, hopefully this is going to be good. I hope they like it. Yeah. Okay, this is the final product. You got that bitter gourd.
Yeah, I like that bitter gourd.
Got the pork. And of course rice. And Kenneth is getting ready to eat. Mom is getting ready to eat.
I said nga, not me.
And Kio's getting ready to eat. Okay. Let's eat.